Every game requires some kind of memorization, even if it's as basic as memorizing what each button does. However, the balancing of gameplay rules will influence what kind of memorization the player will need. On the surface, R-Type Stage 6 and R-Type 3 Stage 4 seem similar. R-Type Stage 6 is about avoiding boxes that pass through orthogonal tubes. And R-Type 3 Stage 4 is about avoiding lava flows in orthogonal tubes. However, they stress different skills. R-Type Stage 6 incentivizes broadly applicable memorization, and R-Type 3 Stage 4 calls for very specific memorization. In R-Type 3 Stage 4, lava flows according to rules. It goes down when it can, if there's a closed wall on its path, it cannot pass that wall. If there is a split, it may go in either direction, although it is predetermined. There are visual tells to hint at the lava's movement path. The pipe's opening flashes for a moment before lava flows out. The walls themselves are outlines of the paths that lava can take. And, of course, the lava's movement itself is a tell. If it moves down on one frame, you can assume it will move down on the next frame, unless there's a wall in the way. These are all visual cues that inform the player of the rules which determine the lava's path. However, these tells do not offer much time to react. The lava moves faster than the R90 at one speedup. The pipe flash is short, leaving little time to adapt. And walls may open at a moment's notice, even splitting a singular lava flow in two. The size of the flow itself leaves little space. There's no corridor where the lava can never flow. Additionally, the lava also takes up the entire width of any given corridor. On one hand, the visual cues do not alert the player with much time to react. On the other hand, there's no safe place in the screen. This leaves memorization of the level design as the only option. The only way to ensure clearing the level is to know ahead of time where the lava will flow at any given time. In R-Type Stage 6, blocks also have rules for how they move. They move until they hit a corner, then follow the wall through the corner. The game does provide tells for where blocks may move. Walls themselves outline a block's path. While there is no visual flourish to say where a block will spawn in, any empty space on the screen's edge represents an opening where a block can spawn. The blocks are lenient in time. Although they are faster than the R9 at default speed, they are slower than the R9 with 1 speed up. The blocks leave little safe space. They take up nearly the entire width of every corridor they traverse. However, they leave just enough room for the R9 to slip past. So, R-Type Stage 6 has a broader memorization requirement. Because every block leaves an opening, the player can slip past any block coming their way. To recognize the path around a block requires the player learning the rule that blocks follow walls. However, this rule can be extrapolated so that the player can analyze level design for safe spots on the fly. This cannot be done in R-Type 3, where lava flows can swap directions at any moment. Additionally, in R-Type Stage 6, multiple blocks can pass through a hallway before the player needs to pass through that hallway. This essentially demonstrates a block's path through a hallway before the player needs to fly through it. This is also impossible in R-Type 3 Stage 4, where the lava flows are constantly changing course. The slow movement and the large size of the blocks emphasize 2 skills. First, the large size leaves little safe room, calling on dexterity for precise control. And second, the slow speed tests analysis, letting the player read the level design as it appears and search for potential safe spots. By contrast, the large size, fast speed, and ever-changing paths of lava in R-Type 3 Stage 4 leave rote memorization as the only recourse. Different players have different skills. A player with lower reflexes might compensate by leaning on memorization. However, the balance of gameplay elements also influences what strategies the player can employ.